But see, it's not just that moment that bothers me, man. I was looking at Facebook the other day, and they got all these comedic videos that they've been posting, and I'm not gonna name the comedian names. I mean, there's a lot out there, but a lot of them are basically showing these dudes in relationships, and it's like they're being really submissive to their woman. Like, it's not the other way around. It's the man over here asking the women permission, to go spend time with his boys or to go do anything. Even one woman in a comedic video is like, "I'm coming too," telling him it don't matter what you're doing, I'm coming too.
Wow.
Right. And it just got me think, like, is that the new wave these days? Like, is that what people are aiming for as a goal now? Because I used to, when I was younger, I used to believe that marriage was the goal. Find that one, get married, have kids, start a family.
What did they tell you about marriage, though? That marriage was the one, but what was the ideal of getting marriage? What was their description of it? Do you remember?
I mean, they were saying that, to complete yourself. A man's not complete until he finds his woman. That's what they were saying.
Okay.
And it's like, but then I'm looking at this, and it's like, these days, with the women that they got going on these days, and their ideas, is that really the goal today? I mean, do I really go to Zay's Jewelers, or whatever you call it, K's?
Jacob Jewelers.
Yeah, whatever you call it, K's, whatever.
K
do I
Jewelers.
go there, get paid thousands of dollars for a ring that's going to depreciate in value as soon as it leaves the store, and give it to this woman to basically pay her to be her slave?
And for her to be your mama.
I mean, is that what's hot right now? I'd rather be single.
Exactly. But while you're single, what is it that you open it up for yourself if you're not married? A world of what?
I mean, I'm free right now.
Options. And you said it. Free. Free to do what? Live your life according to what you see fit. So the idea of marriage is to have this person who joins your life with you and either enhances your life or supports your life. That's the whole point of being in a marriage. That's the whole point of being a companion. Most times it's not based on donkey dunk. And it's definitely not based on if the girl is ultimately pretty and you are ultimately rich, in which that is the modern day idea that these these newfound strange creatures are coming up with. Because you have this common modern woman who's only interested in what you are providing her. Simply that. Not that you are a decent man. Not that you are, your virtue is you got a strong mind and that you are capable of, of good moralistic things. The first thing she's going to look at is what you got in your pocket. Okay, and then there's the average man, which, now the thing is about the common man today. The fact is, men are only as good as their options. And usually their options are very limited. And the first girl who might have a little, she might be a little pretty, or she might have some features that he's interested in. That's what he's going to be satisfied with. But initially, if he did have a plethora of options, usually it's going to be the beauty of how this girl looks. But the wiser the guy becomes, or when he wants to be serious about his life and build up a better infrastructure for himself, he's going to be interested in a woman who's feminine, fit, cooperative, supportive, and she's going to be able to add value to his business or his life. Unfortunately, what we're dealing with is that unbalance. Instead of the modern, I'm not going to say that there are man and woman, because that's considered as an adult version of the self. I say boy and girl, meaning that they're immature. And because they're immature, they are only looking for those plutonic, shallow water assets, which causes the true meaning of relationship and bonding or coupling to support each other's life practically irrelevant. And this particular dynamic is, I won't say it's an excuse of the elders or older people, but it falls back on this generation not not having proper examples or proper mothers or fathers that showed or have displayed what it means to be together, what it means to struggle together, what it means to really care about that person regardless of what they have to offer. See, the thing is about being feminine, fit, and cooperative, those aren't tangible things. And it's not difficult for a woman to be feminine, fit, cooperative and support his lifestyle or be a business partner or whatever that she needs to do to make his life better. But in reverse, she's almost always looking for the tangible things that he have to offer. So she's looking past the fact that he's a decent guy and only concern herself with what's in his back pocket. This is why on the often you will find decent looking girls just externally chasing after the guys who have clout or seemingly stable, or he have the fancy looking cars, or he's this so-called go-getter and he seemed to have his life in order. Now, even if the women don't want to admit it, especially the American women, they don't want to admit that that's what they are really after. Eventually, once you begin to see their lifestyle, you begin to ask them questions like on Candace Samuel's channel and others, you begin to realize that, yes, she's mainly interested in the tangible items, because you can be a good guy all you want to. You can be a provider. You can be this guy who loves children. You love pets. You donate to homeless people all you want to. She may smile at that, but she's still more concerned about what type of bread and butter that you're bringing into your home. So it causes her to be more of what do you call that materialistic modern day girl, in which this is why the RP, the Crimson Capsule has to come into play to awaken men to the deception that's being put before them and the engineering that has been placed in their mind as little boys to grow up, get a good job, provide, be the one to open up the door, throw out the red carpet, and those particular things.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's on fire, right?
Yeah,
like that.
Because the thing is, on one end, I take some things I was taught when I was younger, about hard working, about being a hard worker. A man's supposed to provide, man's supposed to take care of the woman. But these women, it's like, I don't know, man. Like these women, that saying, you give them an inch, they take a mile?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And they're never satisfied.
Yeah, I'm like...
They're never satisfied, yeah.
Because, take me, like, I work. I grind. You know what I'm saying? I get my money.
Mm-hmm.
My bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, here I am. I get women, every now and again, every now and again I get one or two, whatever. But the thing is, you got these women for the most part, and they always taken by some dusty, broke, poop butt, non-working, just janky. I could go on and on. Basically, a dude
aggressive,
that's dusty.
A guy who don't have his life in order. And a gentleman who
no job.
No, he may not have a job, and at the same time, he might not know his directives in life. And I think I know where you're going with this. Women on the off, it's a psychological thing, as I talked about before in the last audio. This is Tom Likas. Water reaches its own level, and a lot of women, they do that because that gives them an scapegoat. You got to know the common woman today. The majority of them, they look for something that's easy, the easy route out. They don't want to be accountable for their actions. They don't want to take responsibility because responsibility requires what? Logic. So therefore, because that logic is a little too difficult for them to wrap around, because with the logical drive, that is putting the horse before the cart. That means they have to be careful in how they choose their mate. They have to be careful in the decisions that they make according to their future. And oftentimes, because they are a woman, they're going to look for something that is more comfortable, a lot more secure. So if they end up thinking that a man who has more money or have whatever that's offered, that's the direction to go. But also her failure comes in play when she don't want to elevate herself or she don't want to do better for herself. So she will pick the lowest hanging fruit, or she'll pick guys who don't have their life in order. They're just scrubs, or they just that guy is particularly confused. And this is it, because it's a reflection of who she really is. It's a reflection of her own internal standards. Even though she may be pretty or she may be a good looking girl, but she's with this guy like a penguin because he doesn't give her any higher standards. He doesn't give her initiative to excel or elevate her lifestyle, so it becomes a comfort zone for her. So an alpha male or a gentleman like myself comes onto the scene, and I give her bars to raise, or I give her standards that she have to comply with. To her, it will be a whole lot more difficult, especially in the modern day when she's taught not to depend on a man, and she's the bad bee, and she's the boss, and that we are equal, we should be a power couple, and she has a say in the relationship. There's a thing with that in the middle of all this. It's called submission. It's called submission.
Mm-hmm.
What she really needs to be submissive to is logic, if you get what I'm saying, or adjusting her lens to realize, yes, she should do better for herself, but at the same time, she shouldn't put herself in a situation where she's just looking for the most comfortable, the most cush, the most secure out or way out of a situation, because that's where she ends up getting in trouble. So if you look at the two pendulums on each side, one side you have this dusty guy who, well, you can call him Dusty, but you got this guy who's not doing anything for himself. And on the other end, you have this guy who she expects to make 6 figures a year, be 6 feet tall and be like a basketball player and have all these clout and prestige and things like that. In between that is what I'm giving you an idea of and focusing on. In between requires logic. The balance, the universe requires balance. Balance requires understanding that you don't need that she don't need the vanity. She don't need this guy who's for a millionaire or multimillionaire, because for the fact is everybody wants that multimillionaire. But at the same time, the most modest of men are the ones who are more proper for her, aren't men who've been chasing the bag like that all the time, are men who have a full establishment, because those are rare. You see, so she has to be ready, she has to be steady, and she has to be prepared. She has to prepare her mind for simple, common men who at least still have the quality of being able to provide for her. He has a decent mindset and he's doing well for himself. Now, the problem is women have this thing nowadays called dating up. They don't want to date down. So they put themselves in a horrible situation. How's the horrible situation work is this. They go and they get their PhD, they get their master's degree, and they make a good amount of money per year, per mandate, because the government mandate about it's generally about women being hired in certain places over men, so they can get them into the workforce and generate more taxes and become the consumers and all this sort of thing that I'm not going to get to right now. So therefore, on the often, men are disenfranchised, or men have to come up with different programs and ways of making money. And they'll stay with their blue collar job, or they'll go out there and they'll be the electrician, they'll be the mechanics, they'll be the construction work, and this goes on with that. So they still make themselves a very wonderful pillar of the society. But at the same time, women aren't looking at them. The women who are chasing up, they're not looking at men who are the true backbones of the society, men who are busting their knuckles every day, men who have a decent 9-to-5 job and can provide for her and actually want to get married and probably would treat her like a princess that she want to be, but she's too busy looking at the clout and the money that he's providing. So because she's this master degree type of girl, this PhD sort of entity, she won't look at that. So she puts herself in a rut. So what ends up happening, if you continues on, so you have a high unrealistic expectation of society, which first of all is rare, and at the same time is unbalanced. So she shafts herself, she hurts herself, and she puts herself in a almost impossible bracket where the 10 or 20% of high earning men are valuable men are being chased by 80 or 70% of the women who all want them. So every other guy who's simple and decent ends up, they end up at a loss. they end up without a wife. They end up without a girlfriend. Now, she will deal with this guy, but she'll deal with him for a short amount of time. And what she'll do is the game plan that they'll do. Let's talk about it. The game plan that women would do is keep their options open. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. She'll keep her options open. How does she keep her options open? Facebook, Instagram, social media of all kind, Twitter, Plenty of Fish, Match.com. What she does is, if there are men who have a somewhat of a potential, or he's interested in her to the point where he can wait in her friend zone, which I consider them to be simps and blue pill betas. There's plenty of them. Mm-hmm. He's willing to be her friend that she want to call her friend. He's not her friend, basically. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who is with a woman and they are not in a relationship, they are not intimate, he's not a friend, he's just a wolf waiting for his turn. He's a man waiting for his turn.
I don't know about that. Now, come on, Morphe.
So I'm gonna let you hold on. I'm gonna finish this, and I'm gonna let you come back at me, okay? So the purpose of a lot of her social media is her power. It's her magic wand. Because if she keeps her options open, she's keeping that open for a better opportunity called hypergamy, or jumping on the next fence. So when she's with this guy who may be a simple, common guy working a decent job, and he's able to provide, and he's moral and all that good stuff, as we just discussed, it's never truly good enough. So she's going to prepare herself to not only pick on this guy, but she's going to prepare herself to still be on sale. How does she still on sale? While she's with this guy, she has social media. She have Instagram. She have Facebook. And she's advertising herself. She's advertising her bikini. She's advertising her tattoo. She's advertising her body. She's selling her body to a degree or percentage to the outside world to let everybody know, hey, even though I have a boyfriend, it don't matter if she kind of posts them up on Facebook and say, hey, we're together. She's still putting her body out there. She'll still do these old sexy time pictures where it don't matter if she's with someone. The way the world operates is by stereotype or by what they see. So she's still putting herself up for men to lust after her. So her opportunities is still available for her. So should a high value man come along, even if he won't come along that way, I'm sure he won't, but should he come along, she feels or thinks that she will have an opportunity to jump on that bandwagon. This also includes why the divorce rate, the highest percent of divorce rate being 75 to 80% of the time, is initiated by women based on 100% excuses. Any type of excuse. If they're initiating divorce 80% of the time, and if you listen to them on other platforms, or if you listen to them and you have a conversation, there's always some small excuse. Every woman say, well, it's because he did this. It's because he was like this. It's because he changed. It's because he was an alcoholic. 80% of them. 80% of them. But they never stop to think, well, they chose this guy. They consciously chose to be with him, or to get impregnated by him, or to marry him. So again, they want to escape accountability, point the finger at this man, while they're also keeping their options open to make an excuse to jump on the higher bandwagon.
Okay, but I gotta backtrack because you talk about the friendship tip now.
Okay.
Just because you don't have female friends, I mean, I got female friends, man. Like I got some friends that are female. One in particular, I'm not gonna name her name. Because she's married now.
Okay.
But me and her been friends for like, man, since I graduated high school.
Okay.
So I find that you and Steve Harvey both get kissed by.
Okay, as a matter of fact.
Oh no,
let's go ahead and deal with this. Okay. Let's deal with this. Let me show you something.
Friends. I mean, I got friends.
Okay. Hold on to your beta belt because I'm getting ready to get started.
Beta belt, yeah. There you go, trying with the digs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and have a conversation with the beta. All right. First of all, Brian,
where the beta at?
I am, and I can say this with 100% confident, regardless of anybody else's opinion, I know this by study. I know this by practice. I know this by experience. I know this by my lifestyle. I am an alpha. Okay. As an alpha male, I have the pick of the litter.
Mm-hmm.
When I walk into the room, I can't say the word. It don't matter whether she's married or not. Eventually, she's going to lay down and say, sir, I want you, because of her hypergamy, because a woman knows the difference between a beta and an alpha. Now, getting that out of the way, the reason why I say that is I have a decision and a responsibility to myself as an alpha male, not only to be the lead, but to know what time of day it is. Because as an alpha, I'm always targeted. As an alpha, I'm always challenged. I'm always in a position where I have to ask, why is this person in my circle? Or why does this girl have to get after me? I know specifically that she's interested in what I have to offer, or she realized there's a higher grade of male here before her. And I'm not saying I may be that higher grade. It could be another higher grade male. I'm just saying, I know that I would either be wasting my time or there's going to be a future prospect. What that means is, am I going to bring her into my circle where she's going to be an asset to my life? Now, that's not the same of her saying, well, she wants a man to pay her bills and buy this stuff and rings and stuff like that. The vanity part, these are things that can comply without money. You know, you're just spending your energy, you're just being feminine, fit, cooperative, blah, blah. Those are mental, morals, and, you know, internal type of things that don't cost much, but a little bit of time. Now, here's the thing. Because I know my nature. Number one, that's why I said I'm an alpha. I know who I am. That's the key. I know by experience and my nature. When you're around woman and man, why are you together? What is the initiation? The initiation is, what is the purpose? You got to know women love attention. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to donkey dunk with you in order to feel good by you. Just the fact that you are there validates them. There are some women who love chaos, and chaos is what makes them feel like they're validated. Some women don't care, but here's the thing. Their nature is based on being a socialite. They like friends. They like flowers. They like socializing. It don't matter if it's a chaotic type of socialization. They will still bond themselves with it, even if it hurts them. There are some women who enjoy being around women. They will talk about, it may be their sister or their friend and girlfriend. They will talk about their girlfriends behind their back and say, oh, she's doing this and she's ratchet. She got a bad attitude and I can't stand her. Look, let's check this out. She lied on me. She talked bad about me. She went out and talked about me behind my back, and she stole my dress or any other type of thing or something. Like, oh, she was calling my car dirty, or she cheated with my boyfriend behind my back, whatever the case may be. And she will promise you that she's not talking to a girlfriend, that she don't like her, but she would keep going back.
A week later,
she'll keep going back. Or she'll say, oh, I don't talk to her no more. And a week later, she ends up showing up at the door with that same girlfriend by her side because of chaos, because of attention, because of the social attention that these girls are getting. So with you as a male, you may not deal with her as her female friends would, which you shouldn't. But the fact that you are there, you are considered to be, well, how can I put this? You're considered to be like when you have a deck of cards. There are some cards in your deck that you may not use at that particular point. But at some point in the future, she knows she's going to use that card. At some point, she's going to know she's going to need you as a manipulated type of tool to function in this difficult world. I mean, we need to survive. There are times where we end up in situations where we need each other. So instead of just getting rid of you outright, because remember, women are usually social creatures, right? Then she'll just keep you there just in case. You see what I mean? And at the same time, with her downfalls that she have some time, with her boyfriend's flaking on her, or she have no more options, or she's lonely, or she needs you. First of all, let me slow down for a minute because I got something on this before I escape this. Let me show you something. Women, oh yeah, you ready for this? Women have a man for everything. That means she has a man to do the plumbing. She has a man to work on the car. She got a man to donkey dunk with her. She got a man to give her attention. She got a man to pretend as if he's her gay friend. And she has a man to talk to her in the middle of the night. And she has a man to give her some type of mental confidence, such as what do you call that? Tutoring or counseling her with her internal ways. So the thing is, they use that as power, unlike us men knowing how to go out there and deal with the world one-on-one and deal with it face-to-face. Women use their manipulation as a form of power. So what happens is when men allow themselves to be in that circle of that particular woman, he needs to ask himself, why is he there? What is he getting out of it? And what is the purpose? Now, this goes back to what I'm talking about, knowing who you are. If you know who you are, you're not going to put yourself in a position where you know full damn well she's manipulating you, and you know you are a man. And if the opportunity was to rise, depending on what this girl is, that you might donkey dunk with her. See, the difference between some men, and it may not be you, Brian, but the difference between a man and a boy. A man knows that he wants to smash eventually, or he wants to get a taste of the panties. If he had tasted the panties, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know, we're going to be friends because our relationship didn't work out, and you're still on the back burner, or you still her friend because there's plenty of them out there. You're her ex-boyfriend, but now you consider as her friend, and now a new man comes onto the scene. You're playing the backdrop. You're backup plan number 2 or backup plan number 10, and you don't know it. And at the same time, how would you feel, and how would you adjust your lens as a man if you knew that this guy who she calls her friend is actually her ex-boyfriend that's put her on her back, blew her back out, whatever that he did to her in the past, and he got his rocks off already on your girlfriend? Only a beta will put himself in a situation like that, because when you here's the thing, men need to support men. Men need to start respecting men. Men need to start putting their shoes or their feet in another man's shoes and say, what if that was me? Because eventually it will be you, and it can be you. And the same thing that you're doing to her is the same thing she's doing to somebody else. It's like this. You being in the friend zone list for her, okay? Mm-hmm. The girlfriend that you get with in the future, or that you have been with, is doing you the same way, because while you're with her, she has a boyfriend that's just like you in the backdrops that you probably know about or you don't know about. And she'll say, oh, that's my gay friend, or that's just my friend. We never slept together. He don't want nothing, no part of me. He don't like me. How was that? See, so you'll be playing yourself. Actually, you will be playing yourself just as well as you are being the one who's getting played at the same damn time. No man in his right, no man in his... Oh, here's the thing. As an alpha male as well, I have a lot going on in my life. I'm a businessman. I'd rather spend my time doing something else, and my time is very valuable. I'm going places, I'm traveling, I'm generating revenue, I'm doing things outside of wasting my time trying to be a friend to a woman who's not particularly an asset to my business or even helping me on my path to success, or she's just this particular female that I myself will be keeping in the backdrops. For what? What will be the reason for that when I have something going on in my life, if it's still moving forward? I'm not saying that you should cut women off. You need to know how the genders are being played here. You got to know that women look at it differently than you. You yourself personally might be able to be a friend to her based on your chemistry, because you're a man and you say, oh, I like talking to her, and I've known her since we was in grade school or high school. Fine. But to her, you're giving her validation. You're giving her verbal intimacy. You're giving her the power that she's always wanted and that she always cared about, period, without even touching her, because women love attention. They love just having you in their card deck. They love just using you or having you as a backup plan, or as this is my so-called friend, and you're not a so-called friend, to lie to her new boyfriends as a just-in-case situation. Because the way women peruse the world, or how they get along, is by having these secret operations that give them the potential to manipulate or to operate outside of accountability, outside of the physical realm, because she's not as physical as men are, and to be able to use these type of people such as yourself as her friend okay, as a way out and as an energy or as a validation. For example, when you have a conversation with a woman, that's attention. She likes that. Attention is her validation. Attention is her energy. If you don't give a woman attention, she'll flip off and jump over a bridge. So she has to have as many. Yeah, that's true. That's true. She have to have as many pawns, rooks, bishops on the board as possible to help her to survive. As a man, you don't care about it like that. You may have a directive to where you just might want to smash. You might want to just donkey tongue. Or you might want to spend like 10 to 20 minutes there.
I plead the fifth.
But if you are doing that and you're not trying to make yourself better, or you're not spending your time trying to focus on your business or actually being with a woman who is going to be a future asset, you're practically wasting your time. And at the same time, as you are standing in the backdrops, you find a girlfriend that's going to be doing you, or like you find a girlfriend that's doing the same thing that you're doing, you're not going to feel comfortable about the situation. As a matter of fact, you need to be aware about that guy who's in the shadows, because that guy who's in the shadows could have been this ex-boyfriend, or he had his fun with her already, in which if you slip up, if you say the wrong thing, she's going to go to him. Whatever secrets go on, she's going to tell him. If she have a secondary question, or she's curious about your relationship, once the boats start rocking, Brian, she's going to start talking to this guy and tell him everything about your business. And she's going to start bridging her assets and her investments over there, emotionally or otherwise, and leave you in the lurch. You got to understand, they cheat on you. This is how women operate. Before you realize you are at the end of the relationship, she already moved on. She already moved on. She's already with another guy in the last 2 or 3 months that y'all have been together. She's been with somebody the entire time. You never knew anything about him. She was talking to this guy. That guy, she said, was my friend, just like you want to be. That guy was, oh, he's gay, don't worry about him. Or, oh, he's my coworker. He's fine. Don't worry about him. He's married. He don't look at me like that, as if she knows how a man looks at her. She's a female. Never stepped foot in a man's shoes in her entire damn life. But she thinks that this man don't want to smash her. But the moment she say, hey, baby, come on, let's go. I'm ready. I'm wet down. Let's do it. She know full goddamn well that he's going to do it. But she want to pretend ignorant that this guy is not a problem to the relationship. No, she know that internally. She don't want to admit that. That's a form of her nature that women needs to battle because of her manipulation skills. No, these guys are there because they are a backup plan no matter what. And you as a man should never put yourself in a position where you allow her to have guy friends, because these guy friends are going to be the problem that you're going to have to deal with in the future. Do not take dating advice from women, period. Do not hear when they tell you, oh, he's just a friend. Bullshit. No, he's not. Oh, we never slept together. He don't look at me like that. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a man. And if he got any type of marbles between his leg, whether curiosity or not, he's going to be curious, because men think about that almost all the time, around the clock, every day. And she knows this. So what she want to do?
On Sundays.
She wants to play. That's right. She want to play stupid and keep him on the back burner. So it is not wise for you yourself. And if you put it like this, if you want to be the friend in her circle, why would you be the friend when you need to be taking care of your own manhood? As a man that I am, if I'm going to be a friend to a woman, it won't be a friendship. She's going to be an asset to my life. Most likely, she's going to be this girl that I'm smashing. Or she's going to be girlfriend number 5. The world may not know it, but she knows she's girlfriend number 5. That's why we socializing. I'm spending time with her because she's girlfriend number 5. She's talking to me because she's girlfriend number 5. When I come onto the scene and my 2 girls would be standing there, I'm not going to sit there and say, no, they're my friends. I'm going to say they are my girls. That's what I'm going to say. They are my girls. So if you're doing that and you're saying, oh, this is my friend, that means you're a beta. That means you're a beta. You're blue pill, because what are you doing when you need to be the leader of the relationship? You need to be this guy who cares about yourself. You are the prize. They're not the prize. You are the goal. They are not the goal. You should be the one to say, oh, Girlfriend number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know why they're here. And while they are here, I'm getting something out of this exchange. I'm not sitting here like a little girl. Little girls gossip. Girls, that's a girl thing. When you have a guy friend and a girlfriend, and y'all just sitting there just chattering just for chattering, what the hell is that? That's a female thing. Women do bull crap like that. Not men. Men don't have time to be sitting there conversating over what? If you're not conversating to create something, to build something, to talk about politics or build an infrastructure, if it's not business based, why the hell are you talking to her? I don't want her to say nothing. We got 2 things to talk about. Bedroom right now. That's it. That's it. We ain't got nothing to talk about. What am I talking about her for? What? I'm like, hey, you know what time of day it is? Oh, Alpha Morpheus is coming over. Everybody leave. As soon as he come by, I already know what time it is. Well, what are we going to talk about? Now, we can talk about the future. Yeah, we talk about that. We'll talk about what we're going to do to make our house better. We're going to talk about infrastructure. We're going to talk about how we're going to build our home. You know, what bills need to be paid. You know, how are we going to lick these envelopes? And how are we going to buy our cars? How are we going to build up our infrastructure? We're going to talk about that. But guess what? I'm getting something out of it. I am building my future. I'm building a life with this girl. I am creating an asset to deliver myself. So therefore, I'm not sitting there wasting my time chattering. I'm not becoming a friend or an asset to her. She's becoming an asset to me, and she will be taken care of.
So hold on. Now going back